Okay, so I'd like to advise members that the committee meeting will be recorded and broadcast throughout Parliament buildings and online. Advise members you are welcome to use mobile devices as long as they're in airplane mode and all devices are muted, and it's not permitted to take photographs or record any of the meeting. Do members have any interest to declare in relation to today's meeting? No. Okay, so agenda item 1, apologies. We'll have apologies from our chairperson, Kelly Armstrong, who is attending a funeral today. We have apologies from Danny Donnelly, and we have apologies from Aoife Finnegan. And if members are aware of any other apologies, you can let me know. Okay. So agenda item 2, the draft minutes. I want to inform the members that the draft minutes of the meeting held on the 4th of June are at pages 5 to 8 of your pack. If members are content that the minutes are a true reflection of the proceedings of the meeting, if you can just indicate that you are content. Okay, good stuff. And I will sign the minutes just here now. Okay, doing this in the right pen?
Just above there,
Okay. So what page am I moving on to do the...
Just do the matters arising, just say there's no matters.
And sorry, agenda item 3, matters arising. There's currently no matters arising to cover. So what page am I moving on to for the annual debate?
Page 12.
Okay, and is that in closed session?
Yes, you have to have something to close session.
Even though we're agreeing?
Yeah. Because
Okay.
this case really refers to legal advice. And
Okay, so if I can seek the agreement of members for the meeting to move into closed session for the next agenda item on the draft standing order to provide for an annual debate on the Executive's legislative programme. Okay, thank you. Which was covering proxy voting for absence on official Assembly business, will be deferred to our next meeting that's taking place on the 2nd of July. So I'd like to ask members to agree the updated forward work programme unless there's any further information or clarification that's required. Happy enough, thank you members. Agenda item 7 is correspondence. So if we can refer members to pages 243 to 248 of your meeting pack for the correspondence received since our last committee meeting. The clerk to the Assembly and Executive Review Committee has written regarding a review being undertaken by that committee covering Assembly Committee engagement on cross-cutting executive strategies. The review is going to examine current arrangements for committee scrutiny of cross-cutting strategies arising from existing procedures and practices, and also consider Standing Order 64 dealing with matters of joint concern. Of specific interest to the Assembly and Executive Review Committee will be the responses from statutory committees on their experience of this type of scrutiny. So I'd like to advise members that the Assembly and Executive Review Committee has invited this committee to provide evidence to the review via a citizen-based survey by the 30th of September 2025. The correspondence, which includes the terms of reference for the review and the survey questions, is at pages 244 to 248 of the meeting pack. I would like to seek the agreement of members to write to the Assembly and Executive Review Committee advising that while not directly impacted by the issues covered by the review, this committee will consider any proposed amendments to standing orders arising from their findings and recommendations of that review. Members content that we send that letter off to the committee? Okay. Thank you. Agenda item 8, Chairper's business. Like to inform members at the start of the plenary on Monday the 9th of June 2025, the Speaker drew attention to his concern about the Assembly not routinely being given an appropriate opportunity to give or withhold legislative consent for the Westminster Parliament to legislate on devolved issues. The relevant extract from the official report of the Speaker's statement can be found at pages 250 and 251 of your meeting pack. I'd like to remind members that work to implement the changes to Standing Order 42A as recommended by the previous Procedures Committee following its inquiry into legislative consent motions in 2022, is on our list of future work items for this committee to look at and possibly prioritise this issue. And this will be considered at the next review of our strategic work priorities, which is due to take place in September 2025. So we can come back to that discussion in September on that issue and how we need to prioritise it. I would like to seek the agreement of members now to write to the Speaker asking him if the proposed changes to Standing Order 42A, recommended by the previous Committee on Procedures following its inquiry into the legislative consent motions in 2022, will assist in addressing the issues he raised on the 9th of June, or whether consideration should be given to additional or alternative changes. And this information will hopefully inform our discussion in September around our strategic priorities. So if people are content that we'll write to the Speaker on that, you's okay with that? Content, thank you. Agenda item 9, any other business? Members want to indicate? No? Okay. Agenda item 10, date, time and place of next meeting. The next meeting of the committee is scheduled to take place on Wednesday the 2nd of July at 10 a.m. in room 21. So thanks very much, members. The meeting's now adjourned.
Committee Room 21. Sound. Committee Room 21. Sound.